Hola, buenos dias. ¿Qué tal? So I pulled some cards this morning. That's about as much Spanish as we're doing today. God, I'm telling you, some of these guys that walk by this beach, they don't even know they're being hunted. They can't even see me up here. Oh yeah, I drink his bathwater. Anyway, back to the main purpose of this. What's crazy is I pull these cards. I normally pull these cards every day, so I figured that whatever I pull are going to be relatable to what my intention was. Actually jumped in my head right before I started pulling, and she said good morning and have a good day to me. So I think this will benefit both of you. I'm going to read it just as I kind of went. Sorry, I'm not going to lie to you, I never do. I always try to be honest and upfront. It's not the best reading I've ever seen in my life. I don't think it's the worst. I literally said I right when I flipped the cards, and then I just said the battles. That's all I got before I even wrote anything down. So I like to say a little, let's just call it a little prayer. I call upon the God, the Goddess, and Spirit Divine, all the watchers and protectors on this planet, realm, dimension, and beyond. I call them just to protect us over this little reading. I protect you from wherever you are, wherever I am, and make sure that it's all love and light. So the first card was the Intuition in reverse. And before I even started getting into it, I wrote down, before I read, I want you to center yourself a little bit. And you're going to get a lot of what you already know in your head. And you need to heed your own warnings. Yeah, that's just very important. So heed your own warnings. And I can't read what I wrote normally. Oh, I put luck will run out. That necessarily, I feel like a lot of times there's a lot of things that have just kind of been brushed over, or run-ins with people that you shouldn't have gotten out of and whatnot. So just heed your warning, because intuition in reverse is not a good sign. You are very, very intuitive. But that intuition, for some reason, we don't always listen to, and we need to. We need to listen to it every single time. It will always guide you to the right path. Any bad thoughts, any bad things that you're experiencing or whatnot, those aren't you. Those aren't your higher power. Those are not anything but all the evil in this world that's around us daily, within, without, that is trying to push us into something that we don't need or we don't want necessarily, you know. The good voices, the ones that uplift you and tell you how good you are, and you know, the things that speak from the heart, that's your higher power. Because your higher power will never, ever, 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 ever talk down to you or make you feel bad. So anytime you hear anything that's negative, bad, or just not something that's building you or making you better, that's not your higher power. Just remember that. Intuition takes courage and practice. So you need to use your rational thought and reasoning, but also your intuition and instinct. So it's a balance of all of that. You have to know what's right, because sometimes we get nervous about things going into it, but that's good nerves. Now, I'm talking about like getting on stage and going to sing. It's going to be butterflies, you know. That's good intuition. Doing something that you haven't done before, but you know is not a harm to you or anybody else, you're going to get a little nervous doing that. That's good intuition. Getting those same kind of feelings and butterflies when you're about to make a bad decision, or a decision you know that could cost you a lot in the future, which I think that comes up here in a second. Yeah, that actually walks me right into that. It's better to appear foolish than to make a mistake that could cost you more in the long run. So don't necessarily always wear that confidence badge if you don't have to. Sometimes it's easier to play dumb and sit back and let things play out in front of you. So then that way you realize that you didn't make the bad decision that somebody else might have for you. If a situation or person has you tense, your stomach upset, agitated, uncomfortable, or pressure, back away. And then I wrote in capital letters, back away. Like, you do not owe this person anything. You do not owe anything to anyone but to yourself to be the best you can be. Calm yourself. calm yourself, calm your mind. Anger and fear are going to throw off your intuition every time. So if you're mad or if you're fearful of something, like your intuition is going to be thrown off because you're automatically going into your fight or flight mode. It kind of goes with like you can't reflect in boiled water. You can't see your reflection in boiled water. It has to be stilled. So you have to calm yourself, calm your mind. Even if it's a second in the car before you go in to do something, or even if it's going to the restroom for a second and taking a couple of breaths, looking yourself in the mirror and saying, I got this. Just do whatever you have to do to get yourself at peace and balance before you make any decision, either good or bad. Because sometimes it's the same thing. If it's something good, you can be on a fucking cloud 9, but that just means you have that much farther to fall if something goes wrong. The answers come when you don't worry. So that's kind of the whole don't chase, attract kind of thing. Like if you're worried about it, it's going to keep being more of a problem because you're putting out the wrong vibes and the wrong heart towards the situation. But if you just, again, calm yourself, calm your mind, little woo-saw, the answers will come to you. And the answers will always come to you when you need them to, not when you want them to. And then just check and see, are there similarities with a past person or situation that you're kind of walking back into again? Like especially something that, didn't end in a way that you liked it, or ended it in a way that wasn't beneficial to you or your growth. What you want to see and what is are not the same things. A lot of times, and I'll use people for examples, we see people for who we want them to be, but not who they are. Because we see the potential. We see that they can be sweet, or they can be this, or they can be that. But that's not who they are at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, they always show their true colors again and again. And then we're sitting there looking at ourselves like, why did I think they were going to be somebody that they couldn't when we really saw who they really were? Make sure to not work with flawed or incomplete info. Came up, and this is also under the reverse intuition card. Make sure you're not repeating a cycle that leads to regret. A lot of times we go through the same things, same motion. Definition of insanity is to do the same things over and over again and expect a different result. If you don't have facts, your gut feeling may not be sound. And then it says, ask a trusted friend. Ask somebody who kind of knows the situation, and it's kind of one of those things where the intuition's going to kick in. Like, the answer to the question you're going to ask this friend, but sometimes you need to hear it from another person that you trust, that like, yeah, you're being a dumbass, or yeah, that person's not good, or yeah, you shouldn't do this because you know better. So don't be afraid to ask a friend, because if they're your friend, they're not going to judge you for the situation you're in, or the decisions you're making, or the choices that you've made. You know what I'm saying? They're going to just give you an honest answer because they care about you. They love you. They don't care about what you're doing or how you're doing it. They just want your safety and you to find the love and happiness that you need at the end of the day. Okay, then we got 2 cards from the Fallen Angel. I do 1, 2, 3. 1 from Gaia, 2 from the Fallen Angels, and then I do 3 from the Shadowland. I got the Destroyer. This one just says, we all have an urge to destroy what we've built. Not always is that the right choice, but everything is temporary. So maybe it's time to wipe the slate clean, because there may be an opportunity to smash things apart. Now, think about that in both ways is all I can tell you. That's all I'm allowed to say, because everything has consequences to its actions. But sometimes it's okay to destroy the house of cards you built, because there's no royalties in those cards. They're all just fucking low numbers that nobody wants. And then the Angel of Forgetting. There's more than one way to move past pain. Suppressing is short term, but you have to remember our history defines us. So the more you forget your history, you more are going to forget of what defines you to get you to these points. So you don't want to erase everything, but make sure you learn from the ones and put the things of pain that you need to in the right spots and process it, but don't completely wipe it away or don't suppress it, because that's what made you who you are. And you can't move forward if you have all that stuff hiding under your bed or hiding behind your door or shoved in your closet. You have to get rid of it. You have to put it away. You have to take care of it in a way that you can, because holding on to it's not doing anything but causing more clutter. And more clutter, as I know, and as I like to prove, like, as a thing with things, as more clutter just brings more anxiety and more problems because there's just more stuff to worry about, more stuff to feel like you need to take care of, when in all reality you just have to take care of you, and then the rest of the stuff should follow. All right, Shadowland. This is the battles. You got three swords. 2 are in reverse. So 7 swords in reverse is the I guess it says the downwards, the negative words, the shadow words are going to be reactive, fear, victimization, force, conformity, and oblivious. Focus on a strategy to avoid stress. Avoid verbally aggressive people. Be cautious of theft, extremely cautious of theft. That hit hard. But you also got to be careful that you're not robbing others of their ideas, or we'll just say their customers, because that was barking in my head. Just call in what you're owed. So people owe you, now's the time to call that in. It's a full moon. Give them a chance. That might be one of the things you have to put to bed. You know, people owe you. You know, sometimes it's the principle, I get that. But sometimes you're chasing something you're never going to get, you know. And you might be so focused on that you're not being able to receive something like a gift to fill that space. Meaning if somebody owes me $100 and I'm harping them, and I'm spending all my time and energy harping that $100, I might be just missing, you know, $700 from 7 new people coming in, or things along that lines. You know, you just gotta make sure that you're not putting it at the wrong spot. Call in what you're, avoid arguments. Then you got the 5 of Swords. This one was in right up, so that was okay. It says someone around you feels the need to win and will do whatever it takes to get there. Respond cautiously. Recognize your manipulation potential. So if we're easily swayed, if we're easily goo gaga, or we're too nice, we get ran the fuck over all the time, every time. It's time to just say no sometimes. It feels good to say no. Even though it doesn't feel good to like let that person down, or so you think, it feels good to regain that bit of power that we don't always have for ourselves. And that goes for me as well. Like, it's an easy thing to just be way too easy, way too trusting, because most of the time they just do it to us again and again and again. Sit back and listen. Distance yourself from verbal abuse. I don't know what's going on with you ladies, but somebody around you, be it family member, friend, coworker, don't give a fuck worker, is verbally abusing you. They're rude, they're mean, they're sweet. They're probably love bombing or giving you all you want when they want something, and then as soon as they don't get what they want, they just fucking turn Jekyll and Hyde. So yeah, I'll let y'all sit with that one. But nobody needs that toxicity. Like, nobody that cares about you is going to be that toxic to you on a constant. Just remember that. You wouldn't want anybody talking to your kid like that. Don't let anybody talk to you like that. You wouldn't want anybody talking to your parent like that, or any of your family members that you care about. If we don't have a good relationship with parents, then don't let them talk to you like that. Like, what the fuck are we doing? What the fuck? Nah, I'm good. Last, we got the Knight of Swords, which was in reverse, and the shadow words are ego, cowardness, recklessness, aggression, and impulsiveness. So balance speed and planning, so we're not impulsive or aggressive. Active listening, move quickly but not impulsively. And after that, I just wrote intuition to just loop it back in. So that's all I have for you today. I love you. I hope all is going well. Feel free to reach back out to me about the reading. I know it hit. I'm not even gonna say I hope it clicks, because I know these ones were smacking. So yeah,